Hi everybody, hope you're enjoying your summer. I just wanted to give you a brief summary about what happened in negotiations this year before we get into our ratification vote. I'd like to take a little bit of time and thank my team, Lori Slaughter, Chad Plummer, Megan Eilert, Cindy Norris, Lisa Julian, and Lisa Heller. They did a great job this year. I think we came up with a great contract. I think we've done a pretty good job. Jumping right into things, I've put these in pretty much in order of how you find them in the contract. So let's just jump right into this summary. Article 8 on the professional day, the changes that were made here. We've had some issues in the past with the number of faculty meetings and stuff going on after school in the week. So a few years ago we put some language in about recording that data and how many of those are happening and some things of that nature. So we've modified that language just a little bit. And so we do, we recognize that we do need to have faculty meetings, but we also don't think that they should be happening 2-3 times a week or 4 or 5 times a month. And so that language is put in there. We did some modification a little bit on that. The other piece there in that section is the secret ballot in when you do your building committees. So as you make decisions at the beginning of the year for your building committee, when you make decisions about lunch duty and so on and so forth, make sure it's with a secret ballot. Make sure your names aren't associated with it. It shouldn't be on the back of a piece of paper that has identifying characteristics on there. Make sure that's done by secret ballot. That is in the contract, so make sure your administrators are adhering to that as well. Now in Article 6, this is in the letter of understanding. It's under length of contract. The middle school will not be having their third parent-teacher conference this year. They'll have one in the fall, one in the spring. Professional days, they'll be the same for all secondary. Now where that also comes into play is in the Flex Collaboration Day. So the middle school will also have a Flex Collaboration Day. Now this will affect everybody. When you're doing your 420 minutes of collaboration for your Flex, that can be done anytime between July 1st and May 1st. Has to be done early enough in the year that the PDC committee can do all the approvals, but you can start July 1st, and that includes this year. So if you've already started meeting with teachers, make sure, or collaborating with different groups, make sure you're recording that, put that into My Learning Plan, because anything after July 1st, that works. So that gives you some flexibility on how you use your Flex Collaboration time. And just make sure that when you're doing your Flex Collaboration, it has to be with other people, and it cannot be while you are already on contract. So if you're doing it on a work day, that doesn't qualify. You have to be working on a work day, not collaborating. It's a whole different ballgame. Make sure that when you're doing your collaboration, you're collaborating with other people. It doesn't have to be other teachers. It can be other people in the community, but make sure that you get that recorded into My Learning Plan. The next one is Letter of Understanding. It's Article 9, our prep time, release time, and overload. This is a section that we dealt with last year, the big section on expanding overloads and the SSRC language. And so we defined and did a little better job nailing down what teacher-led collaboration should look like, what district and building collaboration looks like. We had a little bit of gray area this year that came up, and so we wanted to make sure that everybody understood that teacher-led collaboration is truly teacher-led. It is led by teachers. Administration should not be dictating what happens during that time. Please also be aware that you need to be respectful of other people's collaboration time as well, so work together on that. District and building collaboration, we need to make sure that we have that time as well. In Article 22, this is under teacher appraisal procedures. In the past, for the past 4 or 5 years, we've had 5 domains in there, so there was a student performance piece to this. Now, because we have not had a good rubric to go along with the student performance piece, that's kind of made things a little challenging, and so it really hasn't been used much. You should be having some conversations with your administrator before your evaluation regarding what student performance looks like in your room and student growth. That is not a formal part of your evaluation that works into there. You will still be working with the 4 domains in the Danielson model. So if you have questions about that, talk to your administrator about that. Now we get into Article 19 in leaves. Now this is new. So this section is all new, and it allows you to exchange 2 sick days for a personal day. Now you have to have exhausted all your personal days or all your personal leave before you can do this. So this is for extreme situations where your sick leave doesn't cover, but your personal leave, you've used it all up. You might have had a birthday that came up, so you wanted to take some time for that, or you might have had some family to go see for a wedding or something to that effect, and so you used all your personal leave, and then something came up later on in the year that doesn't apply to sick leave, and so you would have to take personal leave on that. This allows you to convert 2 sick days to a personal day. Now this also has to go through the superintendent or whoever the superintendent designates as the person to handle this. And you can do that by email, that's fine, but it has to be approved before you can take this. So there are some caveats on this. Make sure you read this section closely. You do have to have been in the district for a while and accumulated some sick leave before you can take this. So this really doesn't apply to somebody who hasn't worked in the district for very long, but for those of us who've worked here for quite a while, this can apply. Article 31, Manhattan Virtual Academy, when that was developed and implemented, it started out all the language regarding MVA or Manhattan Virtual Academy started out as a letter of understanding. They've been around long enough, they've established themselves, so all of that language has just moved to the main part of the contract, so it's not a letter of understanding anymore. All right, now the part you've all been waiting for, the part where we talk about compensation. As far as salary goes, we've added $1,000 to the base. So the new base is $38,000. Understand that when we say added to the base, that doesn't mean first-year teachers are the only ones who get that $1,000. When we add money to the base, that applies to everybody. Everyone on the salary schedule got a $1,000 increase. Doesn't matter where you're at on the salary schedule, everybody got a $1,000 increase. We also have vertical and horizontal movement, so if you have picked up enough hours to move from one column to another, make sure you get that turned into human resources. Overall package on this, overall salary package and compensation is 3.88%. So a little short of 4% this year, but it's a lot better than we've done in the past. It's definitely a lot more. As far as supplementals go, we have added $2,000 to the supplemental package, to the supplemental base. So the new supplemental base is $35,500. We worked with the district on some money toward MTSS, the building leadership teams that have worked with MTSS. The district had already budgeted $20,000 as a stipend for the building leadership team members. We talked to the district and they are going to put $20,000 additional money toward the MTSS supplemental. So they have some money that's been budgeted already. So there's $20,000 in new money added to that. So there will be a $40,000 stipend that will be available to pay building leadership teams that have worked with MTSS. Now that money will be distributed to each school based on the number of students in that school. Then that money will be distributed evenly to all the members of the building leadership team within that building. Next is insurance. I think everybody will be pleased when we say we are going back to Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue Cross came back with a very competitive offer this year, and so we are going back to Blue Cross Blue Shield. The board will pay the single low option at $381.84, so that's just like we've done in the past. So they're covering the standard single low option at $381.84. If you choose to buy up, then that's of course you pay the difference on that. But we are going with Blue Cross Blue Shield. I think that'll make a lot of people happy. Now, some other things, the LOU for National Board Certified Teachers will continue. The LOU for concurrent credit stipend classes will also continue. So for those folks who teach dual credit or concurrent credit classes through MATC, your stipends will also continue. And then we've also added language to deal with what's coming with the Supreme Court. So if the Supreme Court should come back and force the legislature to increase funding, that funding, when we get that all settled out, we can sit back down. If there's more money coming in, we can sit down and kind of renegotiate how that's going to be used. So that language is in there as well. Again, here's the negotiations team. I just wanted to give you this again. So if you have questions, feel free to contact anybody on that list. The last thing is we will be doing an online ratification vote. So look for an email about July 30th in your school email that says no reply at OPA votes. Same thing that we did last year. This is the exact same company. If you don't receive that email, first check your Guava. Make sure it didn't get thrown into your spam folder. Check that first, and if you still didn't get one, shoot me an email. Let me know, and then we'll try to get that figured out for you. The online voting, it works really well. It allows us to get a much quicker response time, which allows the district to get contracts out much faster. So we really want to help out with the district to get those contracts out moving faster, and that helps everybody in the long run. So thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure serving you. Look for the ratification vote coming out. So and tell everybody to check their school email, because it will be coming through school email. Thank you very much again.